Building your energy, especially your sexual energy, and shaping it with your intention, with your will, taking action is one of the biggest keys to being able to manifest what you want, to manifest the life you want, to create the environment you want to live in, the house, the job, career, income, relationships, everything comes down to, first of all, how much of this potential power you have, this raw energy, and then your ability to mobilize it, to move it, to shape it, to transform it. And a big part of this as well is shaping your belief systems, letting go of patterns of lack, letting go of feelings of unworthiness and undeservingness. And when you work on all these things together, it creates a catalyst for incredible transformation in your life. And I'm gonna break this down more in this video. Hey guys, I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit subscribe to support the channel and get my free ejaculation control course through the link in the video description below. So I wanna share a little bit of a story of where I was at 10 years ago and where I'm at right now. And some of the tremendous transformations I've made in my own life, some of the incredible things that I've been able to manifest, and how I did it basically, and how you can too. So somewhere about 12 years ago, I started to do visualization type practices, manifestation practices that we all hear about, law of attraction, all this stuff. So I started doing these things, 10 to 12 years ago, but there was a specific point. I remember this very clearly. It was about over 10 years ago. It was early 2014. So I've been doing these kinds of things here and there, but there was this point where I became very serious about it, where I started to integrate this into my daily routine. And also at this point, I had developed a practice in sexual kung fu. So I had stopped ejaculating excessively. I was still dipping my toes into really being able to practice semen retention and have non-ejaculatory sex. But I at least, wasn't looking at porn anymore, jerking off every day, just wasting my energy. I did this practice. I don't even remember where I learned it, somewhere on the internet or something. It was this guided visualization meditation type practice where essentially the instructions were to imagine myself being my ideal version of myself, living my most ideal life, not worrying about how realistic it is, not worrying about whether or not I felt like it was possible, just allowing myself to dream big. And I did it. And I should mention here that at that time of my life, I was broke. I'd have like $100 in my bank account. Didn't really know where I was going in my life. Was having trouble in dating and all kinds of things. So that's where I was at. But I had something very important. I had the will to change. I had the desire to change, and I was taking action. So I do this practice and I visualize my ideal life and circumstance. And something shifted. Something very clearly shifted in my life at that point. Because first of all, I allowed myself to really feel what it felt like to live that what I perceived as like a high vibe life, an abundant life, having all the money I needed, having an amazing home that I lived in, having an amazing relationship, just really allowing myself to feel that on an emotional, like vibratory level. And it changed me. It seemed possible. It seemed like, oh, this is something I can attain. I can handle this feeling. And my life started to change dramatically from that point on. And this led to, a series of various transformations in my life. Obviously, everything eventually leading to where I am right now. And I just wanted to share that I was just having this discussion with my wife. So I'm about to go on this trip that's been a dream of mine for many years. I'm going to China for almost 3 weeks, and I'm making a stop in Egypt on the way over to see the pyramids. I'm gonna go to all these Taoist monasteries, go up to sacred mountains. It's gonna be an incredible spiritual adventure with some of my favorite people in the world. And as I'm preparing to leave tomorrow, I was just thinking to myself, how incredible it is that I got to this point. And there's many levels to this. There's a freedom to it. It's not like, okay, I have to see if I can take time off work and how am I gonna do blah, 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 blah. I work for myself. I own a business. I do whatever the hell I want. I don't have to answer anybody else. I can do my work anywhere. I can take a week or 2 weeks off if I really want. And my flight to China was able to upgrade to first class because I have these points saved up from a credit card because my wife's a wizard with that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna be traveling like a king. And on top of that, I have an incredible daily practice. I'm doing my Qigong every day. I'm developing my Qi. I'm experiencing things in my meditation, my Qigong practice that are mind-blowing, better than experiences I used to have on drugs. You know what I mean? And also reflecting back 10 years ago, when I was just getting into sexual kung fu, I was still like, is this stuff really possible? Can I have sex, control my ejaculation, have non-ejaculatory orgasms? And this morning, my wife and I had a beautiful lovemaking session, and I'm channeling the energy through my body, charging up, circulating. I've got my ejaculation control. I'm having my non-ejaculatory orgasm experience. We're cultivating sexual energy together. We have an amazing relationship. And I'm just realizing how wow, these are all things that I imagined 10 years ago. And my wife and I were just reflecting on this, talking about it, and taking a moment just to appreciate where we're at right now and just how incredible this journey has been. And what I really wanted to share in this video is that, I'm not trying to brag or something. I'm sharing this because this is what's possible for any person. But the reason why not everyone is able to live the lifestyle that they want to live is because something's in the way. Here's the thing, there's different layers of this. And I think an interesting model is the Jing, Qi, Shen model, which the Taoists use, right? Which Jing, Qi, and Shen are just 3 different frequencies of energy, 3 different frequencies of the life force. Jing is like ice, Qi is like water, Shen is like vapor. They're the same thing, but just in different levels. Now, this is kind of a appropriation, we could say, but when it comes to basically creating your reality, because we're creating everything. We're in this consensus reality. We're just playing in this energy field, which based on our perceptions is taking the form of what appears to be physicality. And we get programmed from a young age as to how we should filter our perception of the energy field. And that becomes our life, it becomes our environment. And our early programming, for most people, never changes. They keep functioning from the first ideas they learned from their parents, from their teachers, from their friends in school. And that's the programming they carry around for life. That's the operating system that they're functioning with. So what we need to do is change that operating system. And this is where your energy comes in, because you need a raw supply of life force, of the Jing. This is the substance. It's like the fuel which you can power yourself with, okay? And what is the Jing? Well, it's your basic vitality, it's your basic vital essence, and this is also kind of the material we're cultivating. It's really Jing and Qi, but just kind of keep things simple here, this base stockpile of energy that you need. That's what you're cultivating when you're doing your Qigong practice, when you're building the lower Dantian, and also your sexual energy is a major component of this. If you're a man, if you are ejaculating all the time, you are not able to build this force up. You are depleting it, you're scattering it, and the more and more you do this, the less and less you have to mobilize and to put into action. And of course, sexual energy is your raw creative energy. It's a powerful driving force. So when you're able to build that, store it in your body, have a reservoir of it, which you can then put into use, it amplifies the journey for you. That's what I discovered. And then let's talk about the Qi, right? In this model, this isn't really a true Jing, Qi, Shen model. This is just kind of an analogy I'm using to talk about this. I would say that the Qi is it's the action that you're taking. It's moving. You're taking that Jing because you need fuel, you need energy to think, you need energy to move your body, to take action, to make things happen. So the more Jing you have, the more of this raw energy you have, the more action that you are able to take. But what will help to see this in the whole context is talking about the Shen level, which is consciousness and will and intention. Intention and will, they're interrelated. And this is basically your will to manifest. This is your ability to imagine, to dream, to create something from nothing in your mind. And that's how everything begins. Every human invention, the iPhone that you're using, you're staring at this incredible invention of a screen right now. Someone figured out how to take this moment in time, this room that I'm in, capture the information, the sound, the visual quality, the light, particles, captured into a digital medium, and then transmitted onto the screen that you're in. That's incredible. It's incredible. Of course, we're just used to it because we use them every day, but it's damn, that's a crazy invention. Someone just dreamed and thought about that. And then they took action to actualize it. And here it is. So that's how everything starts, on a Shen level, on a will, intention, consciousness. And so basically, you have to allow yourself to dream big, to whatever it is you want to create. And you have to get in the habit of doing this regularly. It should be part of your daily ritual. So basically get clear on what it is that you want. Put yourself in a state where you can sit and feel yourself having achieved that 100%. What does it feel like? Feel the intensity of emotion. Make it as a tangible experience as possible. What does it feel like in your hands? What does the emotional quality feel like? What sounds are happening? Maybe it's the house that you want to live in. What does it feel like when you walk through that house? What does it feel like moving into that space? What sounds do you hear? Maybe it's birds singing, maybe it's ocean waves on the beach. You make that as clear as possible. And that starts to put you on a resonance with that. because you cannot attract that which you cannot be on a vibratory match with. So by doing that every day, you're essentially creating a construct in the universal mind. You're a part of the universal mind. There's this universal consciousness field we all tap into. Us humans are a lot more powerful than we've been led to believe, and a lot of that power is in our minds. But you must be able to control your mind and exercise your will. So you shape it, and that kind of creates this construct, maybe in like the ethereal planes. But this is where a lot of people get stuck, because that's the only thing they do. It's like, okay, I just imagine. That's the in phase. But the next step is you must actualize it in the physical realm. Now, you don't always have to have an exact tangible plan of like, I do this and this and this and this. I do recommend that you do create some type of plan of how you're going to make the thing happen. But the most important thing is that you take some type of action towards it on a regular basis. Maybe it's studying it. For example, I think money's an easy analogy. If you're wanting to manifest more money, start to read material, watch videos, listen to podcasts, audiobooks about money mindset, about how you can create your own business, things like this, just to kind of get yourself in that realm and stay focused on it. And start taking action on it. You know, it's little steps. So you're working towards it. This is what I did, is I had all these things that I wanted in my life and they seemed impossible at the time. But I took little baby steps every week, every day, doing something to move a little bit closer to that thing. And then before you know it, you've attained the thing. And it's like, wow, okay, what's next? So take action. That's the yang phase, right? And so that's kind of the chi. It's like the shen is your will, your intention, this kind of mental construct of the thing that you want. Your chi is you mobilizing your life force, taking action on it so that you can create the thing. And then the Jing is making sure that you have life force, you have a vitality so that you can both have a clear, focused mind and have the ability, the emotional balance, the discipline and will to move against the grain, which you are doing when you're going against all this programming that tells you, oh, what a piece of shit you are and why your belief systems are bullshit, why you should always feel that you don't deserve this, blah, 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 blah. It takes energy to kind of shake all that shit off of you. And so this is why I do Qigong. One of the reasons I do Qigong, why I cultivate my sexual energy, why I live a healthy lifestyle, is to have this raw vitality, which strengthens the power of the mind, strengthens the power of your spirit, and strengthens your ability to take action. And then everything comes together. And then one final piece of this, which is also very important, is your resistance. Coming back to this programming we have, this early programming about our belief systems, one of the most common things that people get programmed is that I don't deserve this. Negative self-talk, self-doubt, lack. There's not enough money. There's not really enough for me to have the money I want, or there's no way that anyone would pay me to do this, blah, 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 blah. All this bullshit, negative self-talk, which is really loud for most people. We don't even realize it until you start to pay attention to, I have this negative belief and it's keeping me from doing the things I actually want to do because someone told me it's not possible. And that's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Anything is possible. I mean, if you look at the spectrum of accomplishment of human beings, people have accomplished astounding feats simply because they felt that they could do it and they worked towards it, even when people were telling them that they couldn't. So this is a big part of the inner work. And this is a huge focal point of a lot of the sexual kung fu work, especially my sex god course, is like clearing out this negative self-talk, this self-doubt, and harmonizing it, because you've invested a lot of energy in these contractive patterns of limitation and disbelief and rigidity. So if you can recapture that energy and make friends with it, then you have even more of this Jing, this raw energy to mobilize, to take action, and to dramatically change your life. So the practical step here is just start to pay attention to these negative self-belief patterns that you have, the negative self-talk. Like if you really want to do something, but there's that feeling of saying, well, I would probably do bad, I would fail at this, or people would talk bad, blah, blah, blah. Just be aware of those things. You can write them down and it helps to see like, oh, there's this recurring negative self-talk about this aspect of my life. Man, it's probably not true. And you can start to be aware of, oh, this isn't actually coming from me. This is my dad's voice. This is my school counselor's voice. This is whoever, wanted to drag me down, or whoever, gave me this conditioning because they had the limitations. I can let that go. It's like taking off the backpack full of rocks. And of course, such an important aspect of this for men is to get your sexuality and your sexual energy under control. Stop jerking off to porn. Stop ejaculating all over the place. If you can practice sexual kung fu where you retain your semen, you build up your energy, you circulate it through your body, you're experiencing pleasurable sex, even self-pleasure, building up that energy, that's building up more of this Jing, this polarized magnetic creative energy, this raw driving potential energy. The more you build that up, the more you get comfortable with that circulating in your system, learn to really ground it so you can handle a high current of energy. When you're doing everything else I've talked about here, you are going to become a magnet for success and abundance. And especially when you clear your resistance to it, because for a lot of people, that's the only thing keeping them from it. All right, there's your pep talk for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button to support the channel. If you have any questions or there's something about this you'd like me to go into more depth on in a future video, let me know in the comments below, and have a great day, my friend.